Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 7, Minagoroshi. So last episode, I guess Rika's luck, right? It ran out and the bad things are happening again. Especially for Satoko, right? And I think it was the first time we saw Rika like that, right? Being so like super emotional, right? It was the very first time. But yeah, let's see what happens today. Let's see what the reactions of the other friends will be, right? To this thing happening. So let us continue. Let's go. Load this. I dragged my body to school hoping that Satoko might be there. But just as I suspected, there was no one sitting in her seat. I felt all the more devastated just seeing it empty. I had nothing left to bet on. All I could do was get hurt and suffer devastation. Blood flowed from my broken heart and found its way out through my eyes in the form of tears.
フルデさん、どうしましたか？今日は北条さんはお休みですか？
The whole class was wondering why I came in late today and why Satoko wasn't with me. But even if I felt sympathy from everyone's eyes on me, I didn't feel any promise from them. No one here was able to save Satoko. No one could save her. Why would I have to keep smiling at all these useless people? This world is finished anyway. If I leave matters alone, then a few days after the Watanagashi festival, my movie reel will be cut as I'm murdered like usual and I'll return to the beginning of this month again. And so I'll continue to live forever in June 1983. Trapped here. Even death won't set me free from that prison.
フルデさん、何かあったなら話してください。北条さんは今日はどうしたんですか？風邪でお休みですか？うるさいな。
The whole class gasped. No one expected Rika Furude to talk like that. I myself made such a blunt statement a few times in several past worlds, but it was always the first time anyone in that world, heard anything like that. That must have been very easy for them, and I envied it.
フルデさん。
Chie was standing there, dumbfounded. I stood up from my seat. If Satoko wasn't around, I didn't want to be locked up inside of this humid place.
帰るわ。
I'm not coming here anymore. Goodbye. I felt like saying something like that. However, I retained a small hope that Satoko might go to school the next day, so I kept it to myself. However, Chie wouldn't let me go. She grabbed me by the arm and dragged me to the teacher's office instead. Chie told me to take a seat on the couch by the principal's office. She had no right to tell me what to do. I could just escape through the open window. As I didn't have that kind of energy, however, I sat on the couch as she told me to. I realized then that I didn't even have the energy to be rebellious. Maybe Satoko felt the same. She lost the energy to rebel and so she was simply obeying her uncle.
フルデさん、何があったか話してください。先生はきっと力になれますよ。
Chie spoke to me, but I already knew that her words were empty. All she would do was call a child consultation center. She wouldn't go to the Hojo residence and pull Satoko out of there. So there was no point in even discussing the topic with her. If I told her, she wouldn't keep it to herself. And shortly, everyone would know about what was happening with Satoko. That would only result in chaos. If they call the child consultation center, the staff from there will go and visit Satoko. Her uncle will deny the abuse, and Satoko will also deny it because of the guilt she feels over Satoshi leaving. Shortly after, they'll find out about the false reports Satoko made before, and they'll decide to not proceed any further. Her uncle will allow Satoko to go to school for a few days, but his abuse will get worse because he'll think she's the one who called the child consultation center. He'll do horrible things to her just like her aunt did last year. Calling the child consultation center will not help Satoko. It will instead put her in an even worse situation. It's better not to notify them at all. But if you don't report it, then how else is this world supposed to improve? No, nothing is going to change. There's nothing that can be done once this unfortunate fate overtakes Satoko.
北条さんのおじさんが？それは本当ですか？
I had somehow answered all of Chie's questions without noticing. I knew that nothing would change whether I spoke to her or not, so I just told her everything. So, yeah, because I had no energy to rebel.
だいたい状況はわかりました。大変なことになりましたね。
で、そこまで知って、あなたは何ができるの？
Chie answered right away, without faltering, already used to my spiteful tone.
今日、夕方に家庭訪問に行ってみます。まずはさとこちゃんに会って事情を聞いてみます。
それで問題があるならば、児童相談所に相談するって言うんでしょう。聡子は過去に嘘の通報をした記録が残ってると思うからね。虐待の確たる証拠がないと動いてくれないわ。人が殺されるまで捜査をしてくれない警察と全く同じよ。聡子が殺されるまで相談所は動いてなんかくれない。そうすると相談所も学校もこう言うの？いじめの兆候は全くなかった。普段は明るくて全く予見できなかったって誰かが用意してくれたコメントを読み上げるみたいに同じことを言うのよね。本当にバカばっかね。
そこはきっと相談所の人が何とかしてくれると思います。私も北条さんの窮状をしっかり訴えます。
You've done the same in the previous lives too. I wasn't denying her passion, but I couldn't say that there was meaning to it. The problem wasn't with Chie, the problem was with them. No matter how hard Chie tried to seek help from child services, it meant nothing as long as they held biased notions about Satoko.
そんなの虐待の痕跡があるかどうかなんて関係ないじゃないですか。
Shion? I suddenly heard a voice from the hallway. It was Shion's voice. Shion, is Shion gonna play a big part now? Chie shouted, "Who's there?" and I heard Mion gasping. Crap. They must have been listening to our conversation. They were having a quiet discussion outside the door, but Shion accidentally raised her voice. She gets so violent sometimes. 4 people entered into the room from the hallway. Mion, Shion, Keiichi, and Rena. Pretty much all of the friends
実
then.
習だと言ったはずですよ。委員長は皆さんを連れて教室に戻りなさい。
そんな場合じゃないです。聡子に何かあったら先生どう責任を取るつもりなんですか？
But yeah, I like how they put Shion here now. Thank God. Because back then, the other chapter, Shion was still in, what do you call it, Okonomiya, right? She's studying there. But yeah, it's nice that they put her here. So she can have much more screen time, right?
取れないでしょ。ひよってる場合じゃないです。すぐに行動を起こさなきゃダメです。おねんのバカとかは虐待のちゃんとした証拠がないとむしろ事態を悪化させかねないとか言ってますけど、そんな証拠が残った後じゃ遅いんです。ミオンはサトコを見殺しにする気？そこまで言ってないよ。さっきも言ったように、サトコには過去に虐待 SOS に嘘の通報電話をした経験があって、それ以来マークされてるんだよ。だからしっかりした証拠がなければ必ず訪問調査だけして様子見ってことになる。それはどういうことか考えなよ。おじの怒りに油を注ぐだけ。サトコを余計追い詰めるだけなんだよ。
くそ、なんだよそれはよ。何かある前に手を施すのが救うってことだろ。サトコに致命的な虐待の痕跡が刻印されるまで放置しろってのか？
みんな落ち着いて。私もしーちゃんやケイイチくんと同じ意見。何かあるまで様子を見ようなんてのは絶対思わない。なら何ができるのかを考えなくちゃ。
何かってなんだ？児童相談所に相談することだろ。絶対に助けてくれるならいいが、様子見になる確率が高いってミオンはそう言ってるわけだろ。
うん。悔しいけど昨年がそうだったように今年もそうなる可能性が極めて高い。しかも今年は昨年に比べたら状況がまだまだ甘いの。去年はサトコが十分に追い詰められている状態だった。でも今回はまだおじに連れ去られて1日しか経ってない。しかもおじは1年間放置していたとはいえ親権を持ってるし。そんな回りくどいことなんか必要ないでしょ。そんな野郎待ち伏せてぶっ殺してやればいい。
Damn, Shion. Don't talk like that. The teacher is here.
しーちゃん、そんなのダメ。サトシくんはそんなのを絶対に喜ばないよ。
I mean, yes, she's being like this because Satoko is, yes, Satoshi's little sister. And yeah, she would do anything for Satoshi, right?
じゃあサトコをどうやって助ければいいんです。
But yeah, Shion is just way too forward, right? Just saying, yeah, we gotta kill him.
サトシ君に頼まれた。サトコを頼むって頼まれた。
See, Satoshi-kun entrusted me. He trusted me to look after Satoko.
私、サトコに何かあったらサトシ君に顔向けできないよ。サトコがいじめ抜かれた後じゃないと手が打てないなんて、そんなの方法じゃない。目の前で現在進行している犯罪はまず通報するの？違うでしょ。止めなきゃ。私たちの手で自ら止めなきゃ。落ち着きなよ、シオン。おねえ、その先本家の闘士でしょ。本家の力でサトコを助けてよ。できるでしょ。サトコ一人を助けるくらいの力は十分にあるでしょ、おねえ。分かってるよ。ダム戦争で遺恨が残る北条家には一切関わらないって鬼ババの方針なんでしょ。
The Hag's policy. I mean, yeah, because the, what do you call this? The Hojos, right, were, what do you call this? The other side. Because, yeah, back then when they had some problems in this place, right? The Hojos were on the other side, while, yes, the people in Hinamizawa were on the other side. Like, the problem with the dam, right?
サト
That
コがどう
one.
なろうと見て見ぬふりというのが園崎本家の方針なんでしょ。
So yeah, so most people wouldn't want to do anything with the Hojos, even though like Satoko didn't do anything with what was happening back then. But she has Hojo in her name, so yeah, it is what it is.
児童相談所に助けられなくて園崎家にも助けられないなら私がやるしかないじゃないですか。私はやるよ。サトコを不幸にするやつはぶっ殺してやる。今すぐ殺してやる。この場からサトコの家まで行って刺し殺すのに1500秒もかからないんだから。
Oh my god.
あんたたちには1500秒で何ができる？
Like we're not even here like hearing what Rika is thinking, right?
何もできないでしょ。私が助ける。私がサトコを助けるの。話してよ、話してよ。今から殺しに行くんだから。
Oh my god.
シオンさん、お静かになさい。物騒なことをこれ以上言うと怒りますよ。
Yeah, and yeah, Chie is here. She's saying that they were desperately discussing how to save her. Look at this, the curry is still there. I just sat on the couch and stared at them vaguely. I had seen the same discussion many times in different situations. I was tired of listening to it. The only difference was that everything was happening a few days earlier than usual.
リカ大丈夫。
So are we gonna even make it to Watanagashi though? Like, yeah. The story is like a week earlier, right? So a lot of things are already happening right now. And you got a week till Watanagashi. Will we even reach that part of the story in this chapter before it ends, right? Who knows?
もう何にも期待なんかしないから。期待なんてどこにも残ってない。
Hani made a sad expression. I couldn't tell if she was sad about her fate or if she was taking pity on me. Just as she promised, Chie went to Satoko's house after school. It had only been a day since Satoko's uncle took her. She wouldn't be able to tell if he'd hurt her already or not. If the students hadn't made such a big fuss about it, Chie would have waited a couple days before going to her house. She already knew, however, about what had happened to Satoko the previous year. She also knew that her uncle was abusing her, just like her aunt, and that he had neglected to act as her guardian for the whole year. Considering those factors, it might have not been too soon for her to visit the Hojo residence. Satoko hadn't shown up in school that day. No one called the school to explain her absence. That alone was proof that her uncle wasn't taking responsibility as her guardian. Chie was going to her house to see what was going on with her own eyes. She parked the car in the street and checked the map she brought from the school. It said Hojo residence on the sign in front of the house. Chie was certain that this had to be the place. The window on the second floor was open and she could see a curtain hanging there. From that window, she could hear the laughing voices of several old men. But yeah, this is the same when Chie visited this place, I think, right? On the third chapter. Yeah, pretty similar. No one had answered the phone when she called right before leaving the school. She could also hear the clicking noise of mahjong tiles along the voices. She had never played mahjong before, but had a pretty good idea that that was it from the way the men were talking. If they were playing mahjong, there must have been 3 older men inside the house. Her students had told her that Satoko's uncle was a very, very violent man. She was a teacher, true, but she was also just a young lady. She felt hesitant to ring the doorbell after hearing their disgusting laughter. But courage drove her forward. She made her decision and rang the doorbell. But the laughing voices continued to echo from the second floor. It seemed as though they didn't hear the bell. She rang the bell again, and this time the laughter stopped for a moment. Someone must have heard the sound. But soon after, they started laughing again. It didn't sound like anyone was coming to get the door. She thought someone heard the bell, but perhaps not. She was sure they were Holmes, of course. She couldn't leave just because no one was answering the door. She knocked and yelled loudly this time.
こんにちは。北条さん、いらっしゃいませんか？
Finally, the laughter stopped and a man with a scary look on his face opened the door.
なんじゃいね踊れは。やかましかとっととうせえ。
She felt intimidated by him, but her heart was filled with a teacher's pride and responsibility.
こんにちは。北条さんでいらっしゃいますか？私。
Before she could introduce herself, Teppei screamed at her.
やかましか。新聞も牛乳も保険も間に合っとんねん。わしゃ今むっちゃ忙しいよ。仕事中じゃいねん。
The people in the room laughed when he told her he was working. She wouldn't give up. She continued to speak.
私、ひなみ沢文庫教諭の知恵と申します。北条さと子さんはいらっしゃいますか？
My name is Chie. Nice.
なんじゃい踊れ。なんで踊りにさとこ合わせねえならんねん。
今日、北条さんが学校をお休みしましたけれど、連絡がなかったもので、何かあったのかと思いお伺いさせていただきました。
ああ？学校？
はい。さとこちゃんはいますか？ちょっとお話ししたいことがあるのですが。
ああ、風邪なんね。そうそう。さとこは風邪で熱出してるんですわ。
プリントとかをお渡ししたいので、ちょっとだけお話しすることはできませんか？
ドアホー。踊れ話聞いてなかったんかい。さとこは風邪じゃ。うなっとるね。それを合わせられるかいボケ。
そうですか。
I mean, what can Chie do in this situation, right?
明日は登校できそうですか？
Like, this is the only thing that she can do, I mean.
知るかいな。そんなもん明日になってみなきゃわからんわ。このクソボケ。
Like, you look at Teppei, he just calling her stupid, swearing at her, right?
そうですか。わかりました。では、さとこちゃんによろしくお伝えください。失礼します。
She bowed, but by the time she lifted up her head, Teppei was no longer there. I mean, at least she tried, right? As her teacher, as Satoko's teacher, she tried at least. Okay, I guess we're gonna go with Shion's plan to kill him. When Chie returned to school, several students emerged from the classroom. They were Keiichi, Rena, Mion, and Shion. Rika was still also inside the classroom, but she wouldn't come outside.
先生、どうでしたか？
サトコのとこに行ってきたんですよね。皆さん、それが聞きたくて待っていたんですか？
千恵先生、聡子はどうでしたか？無事でしたか？
それが会わせてもらえませんでした。あんた何しに行ったんですか？教師でしょ？ガキの使いじゃないんです。会えませんでした、そうですかで帰ってきちゃ意味ないじゃないですか。やめなよシオン。そんなこともあるだろうって予想できたことだよ。どうせサトコの顔に青技があるに決まってます。だから合わせられないんです。そこは無理やり押しのけても家の中に踏み入るくらいしなきゃダメなんです。
I mean, you cannot do that, man. She's a teacher. She can't just go enter the place. Even if Teppei is a bad person, he would call the cops, right?
だからもう先生なんて信用できないって言いました。
She's a grown adult, I mean. Like, if the kids maybe probably went inside the house, maybe they could get away with that, right? But for Chie, if she just went inside the house like that and just tried to get Satoko, that's different.
本当にごめんなさい。
やめなよしーちゃん。先生はできる範囲の最善を尽くしてくれたよ。
Yes, Rena is correct.
だがこれで本当にはっきりしたな。その聡子のおじってやつが聡子を家に閉じ込めているってのはどうやら間違いないみてえだ。
そんなの確かめる前から分かってます。リカちゃまがそうだって昼間からずっと言ってるじゃないですか。それを確かめるだけに半日費やしたんですよ。それでどうするんですか？どうやって聡子を助けるつもりですか？だから落ち着きなって。それをみんなで考えようよ。シオンが聡子のことを大事だと思うように私たちだって大事に思ってる。決して見殺しになんかしない。私たちにできることを考えようよ。そうですね。私はもう考えて提案しましたよ。私がたった一人で今日中に決着できるものすごくお手軽な方法です。死体を隠すとこだけお姉の力を借りますが。
だからしーちゃん、物騒な話をするのはやめて。しーちゃんは人殺しのことを簡単に考えすぎなの。
Yeah, it's just funny how Shion is saying that, and then her face is like this, right? She's smiling.
人を殺せば解決できるなんて考え方はおよそ思いつく考えの中で最低の最低、本当の最低のことなの。
なら他に提案をしてみてくださいよ。
But yeah, she would really kill someone for Satoshi. Yeah.
私の提案が最低の最低なら私よりほんのちょっぴり上等な程度でいいですから代案を聞かせてください。ほら何も言えないじゃないですか。私なら1500秒で聡子を救える。お姉の力なんか借りられなくてもいい。死体なんか私が引きずって鬼ヶ淵の沼にでも放り込んでやる。ほら提案してくださいよ。これより早くてすぐに聡子を救える方法を。
だからそうじゃないの。
Shion is just way out of control right now. She's just blurting out all the things she wants to do, right?
一人で悩んだらそんなことしか考えられないの。ならはっきり言ってあげるよ。1500秒かかりすぎでしょ、そんなの。
Taking way too long.
私なら1000秒かけないよ。
お、
しーちゃんなんかみたいにぐちぐち言わずに黙って教室を出て行ってもう実行してるよ。なんでそうしないと思う？昔誰かに教えられたことがあるの。たとえそれしか方法がなかったとしても殺人に訴えるのはいけないこと。
Yes. Good one, Rena.
正しいことじゃない。最善手なんかじゃないの。それしかないと思ってしまうことが
一人で悩むことの限界なの。
A long time ago, I don't know who told me this, but someone taught it to me. If there's something that troubles you, you can't think about it all on your own. You can't think that your own situation is the best way to conclude things.
みんなで考える。みんなで悩む。確かに、今この瞬間は、しーちゃんの短絡的な提案に対する提案をできないけど、私たちがみんなで考えれば、絶対にそれよりいい解決策が見つけられるよ。
いいとか悪いとかの問題じゃないです。1分1秒でも無駄な時間を費やせば、さとこがどんな乱暴されるか考えればいいじゃないですか。北条って性がそんなに憎らしい。サトシ君やさとこがどんなに辛くても誰も手を差し伸べないの。私が助ける。ご託なんてもうたくさん。そこをどいてよ。そこまで言うなら今から行ってくる。あいつをサクッと殺してさとこを助け出してくる。
ダメだよ、しーちゃん。しーち
お前たちは呪ってろ。自分たちの無力さをいつまでも。そしてより集まって思いつきもしない妙案を議論し合えばいい。そうしてさとこのために何かしているという免罪符を得ながら、さとこを看板に見殺しにしていけばいい。あんたたちは誰もさとこのことを大事に思ってないんだ。さとこのことなんか遊び友達だとしか思ってないんだ。私は違う。さとこは友達以上、家族だとすら思ってる。あんたたちとはさとこを大事に思う心が違うの。じゃあね、殺してくるね。
But didn't she hate her though? I mean, at least another chapter, right? Because she said that Satoko was the reason. That's why Satoshi disappeared. Something like that, right? But now in this chapter, it's the opposite.
さようなら。
待ちな。
何を邪魔する気ですか？
シオン。お前、レナの言ったことが半分も理解できてねえだろ。
半分どころか、お釣りが来るくらいに理解してますよ。殺しをするほんのちょっとの度胸があればすぐに救えるのに、それを綺麗事でごまかす偽善の話ですよね。
シオン。お前が人殺しをしてまでサトコを救ったとして、サトコは感謝すると思ってるのか？
感謝が欲しいわけじゃないです。別に私は差し違えてもいい。それでサトコが幸せになれるなら本望なんですから。
違うな。口先の威勢はなかなかいいが、お前には差し違える度胸なんかありゃしねえな。その証拠に、お前はさっきミオンに死体を隠すのを頼みたいようなことを言ったじゃねえか。それはつまり、差し違えたくない。叔父をぶっ殺した後、元の平穏な生活に戻りたいって願望の表れじゃねえか。お前が本当に望んでいる世界は、ついこの間までの世界。俺たちみんなが仲良く楽しく過ごしていた、あの世界への回帰なんだ。だがな、お前が殺人を犯せば、絶対にその世界へは戻れない。そうそう簡単に完全犯罪なんかができると思うなよ。お前は絶対に逮捕される。
それくらい覚悟の上です。サトコの苦しみを私が懲役で買われるなら本望です。
違うな違うな。絶対にそれは違うな。お前は自分を呪うぜ。かけてもいい。どうして自分が殺人なんて貧乏くじを引かなくちゃならなかったのか、未練がましく自分を呪うんだ。そしてその時になってようやくシオンが本当に求めていたことに気がつくんだよ。それは叔父を殺すことじゃない。 みんなと元の世界に戻ることだ。そしてそれは殺人を犯すことで台無しになってしまうんだよ。そしてお前が自分を呪うように聡子も自分を呪うだろうな。自分が原因でシオンが殺人を犯す羽目になったとずっと後悔すると思う。第一、お前がいなくなったら誰が聡子にカボチャを食わせるんだよ。誰が聡子と陰険なトラップの相談をするんだよ。お前だろ。園崎シオンだろ。お前が本当に目指す世界にはお前が聡子の脇にいなければダメなんだよ。そこを間違えるな。聡子のためだと錯覚して自ら取り返しのつかない間違いを犯すんじゃない。
そこまで言うならケイちゃんは聡子を救う方法を何か提案できるんですか？できないでしょ。口先だけの綺麗事で私の邪魔立てをするな。だからそこをどいて。殺す。私が今から殺しに行く。
Keiichi blocked her way by standing in front of the door. Why, are they actually gonna fight now? Shion gave him a hateful glare, but he just sent her back a confident smile.
シオンを生かせるわけにはいかねえな。俺たちの望む世界はシオンが欠けたら成立しない。だから俺はお前を生かさないぞ。
But yeah, that was a nice thing. That was a nice thing to Keiichi to say, right? The world we all long for doesn't exist without you.
ならケイちゃんは北条哲平をかばってるってわけですね。なら同罪だ。お前から先に頭を叩き割ってやる。ちょっとバカシオン、やめなよ。
シオンさん、その椅子をどうするつもりですか？やめなさい。椅子を床に置きなさい。
ケイちゃんがこの後に及んでまだ私が本気だって分かってないならマジで血見ます。謝んなくていいですからとっととどきやがれってんです。
シオン、確かに今この瞬間俺はよりいい提案をできない。でもそれは今思いついてないだけのことだ。俺たちはきっと聡子を助けるもっとマシな方法を考え出す。絶対にだ。絶対に俺たちが聡子を救う。だからな、信じろ仲間を。
仲間である聡子のために手を汚さない連中に聡子を仲間呼ばわりされたくないです。もう一度は言わない。そこをどきやがれ。
シオンこそ頭を冷やして考え直せ。俺たちはきっと聡子を救える。それを信じろ。だから短絡的な考えに走るんじゃない。仲間を信じろ。仲間呼ばわりされたくないってんなら俺を信じろ。
But yeah, I do remember though when we were doing the third chapter, right? Keiichi was also doing stuff like this, right? What Shion is doing, and then the friends were also stopping him, right? Yeah, I do remember that when he wanted to help Satoko, but yeah, they couldn't even do anything as well, right? So Keiichi was shouting as well back then. I kind of got annoyed, I remember, because he was just shouting and shouting and shouting back then, right? So this is pretty much the same thing is happening, but with Shion this time.
前原圭一が必ず聡子を救う。だからそいつにかけてみろ。
黙れ無力。お前なんか信じられるか。お前にどうやって聡子が救えるというのか。シオン。
Shion threw the chair at Keiichi. He hit him hard and the chair fell to the floor with a loud noise. But Keiichi was unfazed even after being struck. He just stood in front of the exit without even covering his face. Or face, I mean. But yeah, there's blood. I mean, you got hit by a very, very big chair. Wait, he wasn't unfazed. A trail of blood was pouring from his forehead where the corner of the chair hurt him.
答えねえな。その程度で俺が道を譲ると思ったかよ。殺されたって俺はここをどかねえぞ。お前を生かせればシオンのいない世界になる。その世界ではいなくなったお前のことをずっと思って毎日うつむいている聡子がいるんだ。俺たちがどうやって慰めてもその場だけは元気そうにするがすぐにまたうつむいてしまう。そんな悲しい世界があるんだ。俺は聡子にそんな悲しい世界を見せたくない。俺たちが描く世界は昨日までがそうだったようにみんなで楽しく過ごして暴れて遊べるあの世界だ。もちろんおじの野郎なんかに二度と聡子を泣かすような真似はさせない。それがどういう方法なのか今この場では確かに思いついていない。でもそれは絶対に思いつく。絶対だ。だから俺を信じろ。
Shion wasn't yet convinced, but even so, she walked to the window and took her seat. Somebody rested a hand on Keiichi's shoulder. It was the principal. He had been standing there and listening to him for a while.
校長先生。
よく耐えた。千恵先生、一部始終は聞かせてもらいましたぞ。
私が至らぬばかりに。
昨日の今日の出来事ではあるが、わしももはや猶予のならない事態だと思っておる。しかるべきところへすぐに連絡するべきであろ
う。でも校長先生、児童相談所には過去にも相談したことがあって。どうせ助けてなんかくれませんよ。他力本願もいいとこです。
Shion raised her voice. The principal looked at Shion and started talking.
園崎シオン君、私は言葉の中で最も憎むべきものがあるのを知っている。それが何かわかるかね。今君が言ったどうせという言葉だ。
The anyway that came out of your mouth. What?
どうせという言葉は戦いもせず負けを認める最も醜い言葉だ。その言葉を口にしたときすでに戦いには負けておるのである。
私も校長先生の意見に賛成。どんな策があるにせよ頼るべき順序があると思うの。児童相談所に相談するのは多分一番最初にするべきことなんだと思う。それでダメなら2番目の手、3番目の手を考えればいい。試しもしないうちから諦めるのは私は見殺しにするのと何も変わらないと思うから。
校長、もちろん通報するからには絶対聡子を助けてもらえるように言い含めてくれるんですよね。
無論だ。北条君はわしの可愛い教え子である。きっと助けてもらえるようわしにできる最善を尽くす。
児童相談所は迅速ですから今から通報すればきっと今夜にはもう動いてくれるでしょう。
それで聡子が救われればいいんだけど、もしもまた様子見なんてことになったら。それがダメだったら次の手を考えようよ。私たちが諦めない限り絶対に聡子ちゃんを救えるんだから。いつまでも綺麗事を言っててください。そうしてのんびりしてるうちに聡子は癒しようのない心の傷を負うんです。 見殺しにしてるのはどっちなんですよ。
シオン、俺はさっき約束したからな。俺たちは絶対にサトコを救う。それもお前みたいに差し違えてでもなんて話じゃない。サトコが本当に幸せになれるような最高の形で救い出してみせる。見てろ、絶対だからな。前原圭一が絶対と言ったらそれは絶対なんだ。
Shion stared out the window without looking at Keiichi's face.
園崎家の方で児童相談所がどういう判断を下すか確認するよ。分かったらみんなに電話するよ。
それで無事保護されることに決まれば最高だからな。
もちろん楽観はできないね。様子見になる可能性が一番高いね。そうなったらどうする？
その時はくそ。
知恵先生、職員室に行きましょうぞ。早速電話をしましょう。
よく説明しないといけません。
They left the classroom. Keiichi, Rena, and Mion got together and discussed their other options. Shion was looking down and crying. Rika was pretty much out of this. What do you call this? Out of all of this, the thing that's been happening, right? She's just like, nothing will happen. Like she's lost hope. That's why she was so quiet. Just vaguely looking at them as if staring at a boring TV drama. Nothing will change. Yes. That is what Rika was thinking. That's why she didn't even bother talking, right? Because yeah, she was just like, no matter what happens, no matter what you do, I mean, nothing will happen, nothing will change. The child consultation center will put her case on hold. I've seen it so many times in her previous lives. I almost hope that they will take her into custody just this once. But I have no more coins left to gamble on a hope like that. In a previous life, Keiichi killed Satoko's uncle, but Shion was not there when that happened. When she is, I suppose she's the one who takes on that role. Yep. Their pathetic hopes will be crushed by tomorrow morning. The social worker will be at her house tonight, but Satoko will deny that she's being abused. Her uncle will assume that she was the one who called the service, and he'll abuse her even more. She will come to school tomorrow because he doesn't want the child consultation center to be suspicious of him. We will feel more and more hopeless when we see the dead look in Satoko's eyes. I've been living for more than 100 years, but I've never defeated this fate. The fate of her uncle's return. I was blessed with so much luck, and I thought I could defeat it this time. But in the end, it all came down to the same thing. Yeah. It was a waste of energy to put in any effort. It was worthless. The more I thought about this inescapable fate, the more I pitied these people for talking endlessly about how they were gonna save Satoko. So yeah, basically nothing lasts forever. For Rika. It was so happy, and then yeah, next 2 episodes, despair. Like she had a lot of emotions last time, right? But now, yeah, she had given up. Wet blanket. Teppei returned to Hinamizawa to escape some trouble. He'd had to stay there for the rest of the summer, perhaps the whole year, and see what happened. For him, the house in Hinamizawa was like a rather dull hiding place. His lover, Rina, had suddenly disappeared. Rumors told him that she was involved with some dangerous deal. Some source even told him that he had already been caught and killed, or she had been already been caught and killed. Everyone he knew was aware that Rina was living with him. Everyone also assumed that he knew everything about what Rina did. They were convinced that he got money by tricking her into doing something, and as a result, some dangerous men came after him. That made it difficult for him to stay in Okunomiya. More than anything, it pissed him off to find out that Rina was cooking up something behind his back with some other guys. Hinamizawa was about the only place he could go. He couldn't go back to his house where he used to live with his wife, as it had been abandoned since he moved into Satoko's house. Besides, he didn't even have the key to his old place. But if he went to Satoko's house, she should still be there, and she could clean and cook for him too. Teppei didn't know how to cook or clean, and he certainly wasn't thinking of learning. Rina had often been rebellious towards Teppei. He had often said that he wanted to be with someone more loyal, like a pet. For Teppei, Satoko was exactly what he wanted. As Satoko is still a little kid, she can't satisfy him sexually. But he can at least make her wash his back in the bath. What the hell? Satoko's dead mother used to be a pretty woman. Satoko might grow up to become a pretty lady herself in about 4 or 5 years. Teppei headed back to Hinamizawa with those indecent thoughts in his head. Yeah, you better kill him now, Shion. The house was locked, so he assumed that she was at the market for grocery shopping. He found her at the store and dragged her back home. However, the house was full of dust. She'd been living at her friend's house for the past year, and the house has been abandoned. Teppei exploded in anger. He told her that it was her responsibility to keep the house in order. He beat her and kicked her to the floor. Eventually, Satoko's expression returned to what he remembered from 1982. Satoko started obeying him immediately and cleaned up the house. A new place to hide with a new girl. His new life was starting out pretty good. Teppei called his buddies to show off his new beginning and ended up playing mahjong with them. He bragged about his new pet and made her serve them food and drinks. He told her to walk on all fours like a real pet. Oh my god. She refused, but she obeyed immediately when he tried to hit her. Everyone was laughing and they were all jealous of him. Teppei felt really good about himself. However, someone arrived to interrupt this perfect life.
私、
Chie.
ひなみざわ文庫教諭の千恵と申します。北条さと子さんはいらっしゃいますか？
He thought someone was at his door to sell insurance or something. But it was a school teacher.
ああ、なんじゃい踊れ。なんで踊りに里子合わせにゃならんね。
今日、北条さんが学校をお休みしましたけれど、連絡がなかったもので、何かあったのかと思いお伺いさせていただきました。
ああ、学校？
はい、さと子ちゃんはいますか？ちょっとお話ししたいことがあるのですが。
ああ、風邪なんね。そうそう。 サトコは風邪で熱出しとるんですわ。
プリントとかをお渡ししたいので、ちょっとだけお話しすることはできませんか？
ドアホ、踊れ話聞いてなかったんかい。サトコは風邪じゃ。うねっとるね。それ合わせられるかいバケ。
This was going to cause him problems, Teppei realized. Satoko was just a pet for him and he had no intention of sending her to school. But her teacher had shown up at his house just because she missed one day. This wasn't good. Teppei hates schools and he really hates teachers.
そうですか。明日は登校できそうですか？
知るかいな、そんなもん。明日になって見なきゃわからんわ。このクソボケ。
そうですか。わかりました。では、さとこちゃんによろしくお伝えください。失礼します。
He was able to get rid of the teacher, but it would create more problems if he didn't send Satoko to school tomorrow. Teppei didn't even need even more trouble in his place. That meant he couldn't beat up Satoko like he wanted to. Violence was the only way he knew how to communicate. With that out of the picture, it was very difficult for him. He wanted to beat up Satoko, but that would leave evidence on her body. If that happened, he wouldn't be able to send her to school. And if she didn't go to school, the teacher would show up at his doorstep again. On top of all that, the Child Consultation Center paid a visit to his house that night. The teacher must have filed a report. That girl, Teppei thought, and next time I'll beat her in the face so hard she'll need plastic surgery. Since Satoko was afraid of him, she pretended she really was sick when the social worker visited. It was so easy for Teppei to control her. He considered Satoko to be a convenient pet. But at the same time, he'd need to be careful of the consultation center.
ガンマンおもろないばっかね。
Jesus Christ, man, what was that? How do you, what do you call this? How do you even prevent this from happening, right? But yeah, disgusting thoughts there by Teppei, man. Jesus. How do you even prevent this? Like, if Rina Mamiya does not disappear, right? What happens next? Like, yeah, it's pretty much all connected, right? Rina Mamiya, and then she's connected to Rena, right? And Rena's dad. If, what do you call this? If Rena's dad didn't leave Rina, she's still there. She's still gonna be with Rena's dad, for example, right? She's still gonna have money, right? Rina got caught in this one because I guess she doesn't have money, right? And then she took some money from the Yakuza, and then they killed her because of that, right? But in Rena's side, she killed both Rina and then Teppei as well, right? It's kind of confusing. You need to prevent a lot of stuff from happening for Teppei to not come back, right? It's not like just one thing. Like if you prevented Teppei from coming back, and then Rena's tragedy will probably start, right? She's the one who's gonna be like that. So yeah, prevent one, but another tragedy will occur. So what can they do, right? But yeah, for this one, Rika was pretty much quiet the whole time. It was mostly Shion, right? Being like what Keiichi was doing on the 3rd chapter. She was the one being fired up, I guess, of wanting to save Satoko, right? But at least they calmed her down a little bit at the end there. And we will see. We will see what happens with this consultation center, if it will even work out, right? But yeah, we're gonna continue this and do more of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 7, Minagoroshi in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye-bye.